It's a trial that has the world captivated. Two celebrities are suing each other for defamation. And now we have the true 911 call from the case. At 8:27 p.m. on May 21st, 2016, an anonymous woman called 911 to report a domestic violence incident at Johnny Depp's penthouse.
911 emergency operator 278.
Hi, I need to report an assault right now happening at 849 Broadway at the Eastern Building in Penthouse 3.
Okay, are you there right now, ma'am?
No, I'm downstairs.
Okay, and I'm sorry, you said 840, was it North or South Broadway?
47 seconds.
I don't know, it's Eastern Building, downtown LA.
7
right,
seconds.
It's coming up in different areas. We have to be sure.
20,
somebody was being physically assaulted?
Yeah.
7 seconds.
A woman.
Who was hurting her?
A man.
Is that her boyfriend?
A man, that's all I know.
17 seconds.
Did you witness it?
No, I happen to know that it's happening,
Saturday,
and I just need to
May
remain anonymous.
20,
Okay, you can remain anonymous, ma'am, but I have to be certain what's
2016,
going on. How do you know this is going on, though?
28
She told me.
and
Oh, okay, so this is a friend of yours?
seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did she say, that this guy was assaulted her or hit her?
Physically assaulting her, yeah.
Okay, but this isn't a boyfriend or anything like that?
Yes, it
20,
could be, yeah.
28 and
Okay, is it her boyfriend, yes or no?
47 seconds.
Yes.
Okay. All right, hold on. Are you between 8th
20,
and 9th
28
Street in
and
downtown? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and I'm sorry, what was the suite number?
Penthouse 3.
Penthouse 3? Okay. And you want us to be anonymous, right?
29
Yes,
and 07 seconds.
And your friend, did she relay this information to you via text, or were you talking to her?
29
phone.
and
Okay.
17 seconds.
What's her
Saturday, May 20,
Her name, Amber.
2016.
That's all I can tell you. I have to go.
29 and
Okay, well, if that's all we have and we can't
27
talk to her, there's not much we can do. We'll send
What do you
someone
mean
up.
there's send somebody up, please?
I'm going to send someone up, ma'am, but, you know, if we get up there and she denies it or
Okay,
doesn't want to talk
okay.
to us,
29
okay, just so you know, okay? So we're
Alright,
coming out to 840 Broadway, Penthouse 3, okay?
Say 849.
After 4 years since the call was made, it has come to light during a lengthy legal battle between the pair. The case started after 33-year-old Amber Heard wrote a 2018 op-ed describing her experiences as a domestic violence survivor. 56-year-old Johnny Depp responded by filing a $50 million defamation suit. Heard is countersuing for $100 million. The couple met on the set of The Rum Diary back in 2011 and married 4 years later, before this fight proved the final nail in their chaotic relationship. They came to a $7 million divorce settlement. Heard obtained a domestic violence restraining order against Depp and accused him of physically and verbally abusing her during violent and volatile episodes while under the influence of drugs and alcohol. Depp has called the allegations heinous and not based in any species of truth, maintaining that Heard was abusive towards him. He claimed she faked her injuries with makeup. She then responded with a 300-page filing of her own, cataloging the years of alleged abuse she suffered at the hands of the monster and recalling many of the allegations she made during their divorce. On the night in question, Heard claimed that Depp had flown into a fit of rage, thrown a cell phone at her face, and torn out clumps of her hair. Heard's attorneys claim that phone records and the police department logs will back up the woman's account of the alleged domestic violence which led to her filing for a divorce. However, Depp's team says the recording does the opposite, only backing up the discrepancies in the various accounts against him. The Pirates of the Caribbean star was seen on surveillance footage leaving the apartment at 8:29 p.m., 2 minutes before the 911 call. His legal team claims he knew nothing about Heard's alleged injuries, and she filed for a restraining order 6 days later and attended court with a bruised face. The two LAPD officers who first responded, Melissa Sanz and Tyler Haddon, said they never found any evidence of a crime. When a second call came in, Officer William Gatlin responded. All three were reportedly forced to explain why they did not investigate the alleged crime any further than they did. All three constantly gave the same answer: there was no evidence of any crime. While Sanz and Haddon did not record on Bodycam, the officer who arrived for the second 911 call that night, Officer Gatlin, did. The footage shown to the court shows Officer Gatlin and his partner greeted at the door by a man, identified as Josh Drew, the ex-husband of Heard's best friend, Raquel "Rocky" Pennington, who appears reluctant to let them inside. Drew goes to close the door on them and fetch the business card left by the earlier officers, but the two attending police insist on following him into the expensive apartment. They find Heard on the couch, flanked by two female friends. The officers ask who Amber is, and she raises a hand. All parties confirm that Depp had left about 2 hours ago. With that, exactly 50 seconds after entering, the officers leave the apartment. While all three officers knew who Johnny Depp was, they were not familiar with Amber Heard's name at the time. Additionally, all officers agreed they had been told there was an argument, which is not a crime, so all they could do was hand over a business card and leave. Sanz repeatedly told the court that the redness on Heard's face was consistent with crying. She also spoke about those within the house being uncooperative with them.
Perceive there to be an injury or evidence of injury on Amber's face in this photo?
No, I do not.
What is your perception of the redness on the cheek and the eyelid and above the eyebrow?
It's consistent with observed. Her crying, she's fair-skinned, her face is flushed.
I'm going to ask you to look at what has been marked as exhibit number 25. Do you recognize this as Amber Heard?
Yes, I do.
Do you see a red mark on Amber Heard's cheek and above her eyelid and above her eyebrow on this picture?
Her face looks flushed, yes, redness.
Okay. And what is your perception of what that is caused by?
Like I said earlier, it's consistent with what I see in her crying.
Right. But you don't think it's consistent with a cell phone being thrown at her?
Correct. It does not look like an injury caused from a cell phone.
In addition, the officer said that Heard refused to answer any questions and didn't complain of any injuries. Likewise, Sanz's partner, Tyler Haddon, spoke on the lack of evidence that a crime had been committed.
And what did you have during your investigation that created in your mind evidence that it was only a verbal dispute?
After discussing the investigation with my partner at the scene, the Miss Heard refused any medical treatment and had no visible injuries. There was no sign of struggle, and the victim, the witness that was there that I spoke with was uncooperative as well.
Anything else?
At this time, that's all.
Now, you believed that Ms. Heard was uncooperative because she was being emotional, crying, was refusing that she was hurt, and she didn't know initially whether she wanted to file a report or not, and then she didn't want to file a report, correct?
Correct.
Now, you said that Officer Science told you later that Ms. Heard called the number on the business card. Do you recall when Officer Science told you that Ms. Heard called the number on the card?
No, I don't recall.
The second officer that responded, Officer Gatlin, who is in the body cam footage recording, said those on the scene made it clear that they did not want to press any charges. The women at the apartment told Gatlin that it must have been an identical call.
Whether you're in a position as a police officer to testify under oath that Johnny Depp did not commit any abuse of Amber Heard on May 21, 2016.
I don't believe I'm in the position to testify whether he did or did not, because I was not there when the incident potentially occurred.
Okay. And you didn't conduct your own independent investigation, correct?
Outside of the female telling us that everything was fine, and the male that answered the door that told us that the other officers had already came and talked to everybody, and she told us they checked both the two apartments. So I felt at that time sufficient that, as I stated, there's no change in the circumstance from the previous call. So we did not go further into investigation.
And that's the extent of your investigation, correct?
Correct.
The front desk employee, Alejandro Romero, testified about that night as well. He reviewed video footage of Depp leaving and noted that the actor appeared agitated, which was abnormal. Although he was not working when the alleged abuse happened, he spoke to Heard on Wednesday, May 25th, a few days later.
Who wrote the sentence, "I did not notice any bruises, cuts, swelling, red marks, or any other injuries of any kind in Ms. Heard's face"?
I'm pretty sure if I would have seen something like that, I would have said something.
Mr. Romero,
I didn't saw any marks or bruises on her face. I just don't recall. Just don't saw anything. She was just standing in front of me.
I'm asking specifically, I did not notice any bruises, cuts, swelling, red marks, or any other injuries of any kind to Ms. Heard's face. Who wrote that?
That's what I said. I didn't saw any marks or bruises on her face. That's what I said.
But
because they asked me if I remember seeing anything, and so I just don't recall seeing any marks or bruises because she was just sitting in front of me. I just don't remember seeing anything. Just don't remember. If it would have been so obvious, like someone had like a black eye, I would have like, whoa, I would have seen that and I would have remembered because it's something that you will see. Like so noticeable, like you will remember. But when I was there talking to her, she was like 3 feet away from me. She was right in front of me. I just don't remember seeing any marks, bruises, or anything.
But you don't know whether she was wearing makeup to cover it, do you?
No, I don't know. No. She was wearing any makeup to cover it, probably. You probably will cover any bruise, but you cannot cover the swelling.
Were you looking for swelling?
No. I can say I was not looking for anything.
In fact, you were spending more time talking to Rocky about her dog, were you not?
That's correct, but I gotta have it. When I'm talking to someone, I look into their eyes. And when I was talking to Amber and Rocky, I always look into their eyes. Okay. And I wouldn't notice like any swelling or bruise. Like I said, I would notice.
This was not an isolated incident. In reality, the couple has abuse allegations that continuously came up during the trial. One of the recordings that was played captures Heard admitting that she started a physical fight with Depp, who was secretly recording the 2-hour-long feud.
And I watched you lie, and then I
didn't punch you.
And
by the way, I'm sorry that I didn't hit you across the face in a proper slap, but I was hitting you. It was not punching you, babe. You're not punched.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
You've been a lot of fights, been around a long time. I know. Yeah,
no, when you have a closed fist.
You didn't get punched. You got hit. I'm sorry I hit you like this, but I did not punch you. I did not deck you. I was hitting you.
You can't.
I don't know what the motion of my actual hand was, but you're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you.
How are your toes?
What am I supposed to do? Do this?
How are your toes?
I'm not sitting here about it, am I? You are.
Oh,
that's the difference between me and you. You're a baby.
Because you start physical fights?
You're such a baby!
Because you start physical fights?
I did start a physical fight.
Yeah, you did, so I had to get out of there.
Yes, you did. So you did the right thing, the big thing. You know what? You are admirable. Every single time. What's your excuse when there's not a physical fight? Then what's the excuse there? You're still being admirable, right? Just by running away. And you can sit here and call me names, but you get called a name, and what do? That's the last insult. You're a baby. You're a hypocrite. You don't do anything that you actually do. You expect from people what you can't give them. If they do something, a taste of it to you, you lose it. But yet you dish it out.
On another occasion, Heard took responsibility for defecating on the couple's bed in what she called a horrible practical joke. However, the most damning and spoken about incident was when an altercation led Depp to having a severed finger. He addressed the bloody dispute in court documents and recalled it in his own words on camera. The clip was part of a videotaped deposition for an entirely separate legal case settled last year in which Depp accused a former lawyer, Jake Bloom, of wrongly collecting millions of dollars in fees.
I had a pretty nasty injury. that I actually, I had to protect her at the time. And so I said that it was caught in the door, one of these huge accordion doors at this house. That wasn't the case at all. She smashed, she threw a vodka bottle at me. And my hand was resting on the marble of the bar like that. And the first bottle went just past my ear. And the second one was a larger bottle, and she threw it from about this distance. And it smashed into the bar, which, and this finger, who I now call Little Richard, was the tip of the finger was severed, and all the bone in here was completely shattered. I mean, it looked like Vesuvius. And then I got infections. I ended up with MRSA twice, so it was very complicated. I was trying to just get the finger back, you know, and deal with the insanity of having had my finger chopped off by this woman that I was married to. I don't recall any of that stuff. When I was down, or when the film was, or when I was off, not being able to work because of the severity of the injury, I had to go back to Los Angeles and have surgery. So most of the time, what I was dealing with was just recuperating, or just, you know, I didn't want to lose the finger, because MRSA, the MRSA infection, is really quite evil, and I ended up with it twice. So I was really just worried about losing a finger or an arm, or
story about the bottle, and then Amber, apparently created some story about you punching a wall or something like that.
She says that I did it myself, yeah, by punching a wall.
Just another way to hurt you.
That's it. I'd like to see reactions from scientists. I mean, and physicians who are familiar with kind of this sort of trauma, this sort of thing, because I'd love to see her explain how someone hits a wall, and if they put their fist through it, that means that it's drywall or something.
In recent testimony, Heard's ex-assistant, Catherine James, added her own verbal abuse allegations.
When you say she was verbally abusive to you regularly, can you explain to me how she was verbally abusive to you?
Screaming over the phone. She screamed at me once in person, multiple times screaming at me over the phone. Barrages of abusive text messages, day and night, a lot of them in the middle of the night, I think you're aware. I think between 2 and 4 a.m. the barrage would start. That's what I'd wake up to. All incoherent, not really making sense, just basically someone to lash out at, no apparent reason to it.
Not all of the abuse is pinned to Heard. Depp has also been accused of getting physical with her, although not much of this has been shared yet since she hasn't taken the stand. Throughout, his drinking has been referred to as the monster, claiming that he gets violent when he is intoxicated. This video was used to back it up.
What happened? What happened? happened this morning. You know that?
Were you in here?
No.
So then nothing happened to you this morning?
Yeah, you're right. I just woke up and you were so sweet and nice. We were not even fighting this morning. All I did was say sorry.
Did something happen to you this morning? I don't think so.
No, that's the thing.
You want to see crazy? I'll give you fucking crazy. Here's crazy. Oh, you're crazy. Oh, you're crazy.
Have you drunk this whole thing this morning?
Oh, you got this going? You got this going?
I just started it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Really? Sneak that shit on me, motherfucker.
I didn't. You were smashing shit.
Bye.
Another audio recording was played from a separate occasion, alleging that Depp had extinguished his cigarette on Heard. He told the court it was another grossly exaggerated recording and denied he had.
Go put your fucking cigarettes out on someone else. You fucking have consequences for your actions. That's it.
Shut up, fat ass.
Yeah, you got me there.
Even the 911 call itself has been a point of contention. Originally, Tillett Wright, a trans activist, and Heard's friend claimed responsibility. However, Depp's legal team pointed to an LAPD log that shows that call was not registered on their system until 10:09 p.m., around an hour and a half after the alleged attack. Tillett Wright's attorney, Lauren Schwartz, said her client was in New York on May 21, 2016, and when he dialed 911, he reached the NYPD. She says he can prove he made that call at 11:16 p.m. Eastern Time, 8:16 p.m. in LA, and that the hour and a half delay was simply the time it took the NYPD to formally hand the incident over to the LAPD. Instead, Depp's team says that Raquel Pennington, another of the woman's friends, was the anonymous woman in the call. At the time, Pennington lived rent-free in a neighboring apartment that Depp owned. She was one of the first people on the scene following the alleged assault and, in her 2016 questioning, said under oath that she didn't call 911 as Wright already had. Schwartz said Tillett Wright had indeed asked a friend living in LA to make a second call, fearing the two police forces would drag their heels while Heard was being assaulted. She did not name the friend nor confirm if it was Pennington. With Depp's legal team adamant that only one call was placed, while two have now been proven, there is now talk of him perjuring himself in court. It's unclear what these claims will result in, if anything at all. The defamation trial is expected to last 6 weeks. It's important to note that only one of the complaints has taken the stand, so the evidence presented may appear one-sided. Amber Heard is expected to take the stand in the coming weeks. For more True 911, watch this episode next. You can also let me know which call was your favorite in the comments below.